My name is David Hahn, owner of Hahn's Air Specialist. We're shooting a series of films to talk about the differences between certain things and certain installs. I want to talk to you today about a gas furnace install. This equipment is just set up for demonstration purposes only, and it's a Linux system. This is an evaporator core that we pulled out and replaced off of another Linux system. But what you see here is basically a typical gas furnace installation. You have your flue pipe, you have your case coil, and you have your gas furnace. Naturally, there'd be a pan underneath it, emergency pan and drain lines and everything else. But like I said, this is for demonstration purposes. The reason I don't like the way that this is set up is because on Linux is a little bit easier to work on than most, but Carrier, Bryant, and some other manufacturers and brands, by the time you get up here, you have to fight getting all the tape off because of the seams, and it's a disaster to fight all this tape, get all these screws out behind the pipe. You have to take the flue pipe off. Then you have to take the front off. Everything's got tape and mastic on it, as you can see for this example, which is a prime point. And it just makes things extremely difficult to work on, especially if you're going to do a heat exchanger inspection, or if you want to do a coil or electronic leak search on an evaporator coil. With the way this is installed, you can only get to one side of the coil. Also, Linux does recommend by the manufacturers that a minimum of a 2-inch spacer be put in here if the A-frame of the coil is pointed towards the furnace. So what I'm going to show you is the way that we would install things to make it a lot more efficient, easier to service, and a host of other reasons. All right, I just finished up installing what's a spacer in between the furnace and the case coil on this system. And the reason that we install the spacers, as previously noted, and number one is you have so many issues to fight with to service the case coil. With the spacer being installed here, you don't have to fight any more screws on the back side. You can keep the flue pipe in line and everything done. You don't have to take any of that apart. Your tape seam over here, you can tape it to the back side where it's nice and flush with zip screws. You can also put some weather stripping in here if you like. The access door on the top is key. The access door is the whole reason we do this. The access door allows us as a service technician to come in, take this apart. We can service the unit, we can check the heat exchanger, we can do a whole host of things through a hole in the door. What goes back in, it's an insulated door that locks in place. It's an insulated door that locks into place with the tab, so therefore, and it's got a weather stripping gasket on the inside. But it also allows the airflow more of a chance to get around the case coil, which will help with the delta T, the temp split across the coil. Like I said, I've been enough systems, especially Linux, is that when the A's are pointed towards the furnace blower, I've had a hard time getting temp splits right. So after talking to the manufacturer, these are some things that we've done that has increased the efficiency of the systems, made it better to service and more serviceable, and ultimately saving everybody money involved when it comes time to service or repair or an inspection.